Alright, hello. This is part 2 of my video on why Candice Michelle shouldn't be shouldn't have been the women's champion. And the first video was basically about, the Olympics and the campaign, and then it kind of went into WWE and TNA and Candice Michelle not being women's champion. And um as I said before in my other video, it's not that she doesn't deserve to be the women's champion. It's just that I know everybody who breaks into the wrestling business, male, female, wants to be a champion, the world champion. But there are certain people who are not made to be the world champion, and who I'm one to talk. I'm not in the wrestling business. But I've been watching it for 9 years, and I've been watching the women and the men who deserve to be world champion, and the men and women who try to be world champion but haven't reached that peak yet. And then I've seen people who have won the world title and go on and do bigger, better things. But that's everybody's aspiration as a professional wrestler, is to be the world champion. Well, to continue the argument, we're gonna move past the why Candice Michelle shouldn't have been the women's champion. I've already argued that if you look at Candice Michelle's matches and look at any other TNA women's champion matches and other WWE women's championship matches, you get to see the credentials of the women who were the women's champion, who deserved the women's champion. Again, let's take 2002 Survivor Series between Trish Stratus and Victoria. That was a hardcore match. Those two women showed that they had the potential, the will, and the drive to be women's champion. I'm not saying Candice Michelle doesn't have the drive to be women's champion. She doesn't have the willingness to be women's champion. In my opinion, she's just not built to be the women's champion. If I would have had to say who would be women's champion, I would think that Tori Wilson would be the women's champion before Candice Michelle. But WWE, whatever. But to move past that argument, let's move on to something else. The difference between WWE and TNA is WWE has a little bit more storylines than TNA does, and TNA has more actual wrestling. And I like both companies, but I believe that TNA is gonna sneak up from behind in WWE and just wipe them off the map. I believe that is going to happen. I have a feeling that's going to happen because I saw on YouTube Kurt Angle talking about how they beat SmackDown in the ratings, and now they're going to ECW in the ratings. If they beat Raw in the ratings, that is total taking over, because they're beating one show of TNA. One show is beating 3 shows in WWE. Three shows. One show is beating 3 shows. Now that's a shame. I can't believe that, but it's happening, and there's the tag team division. How about this? The tag team division in TNA, in my opinion, is way better than WWE's tag team division, because you got some great teams in the WWE, great teams who deserve to be the tag team champions. This is not a conversation about who should be tag team champions, who shouldn't be tag team champions. But it's a tag team, the WWE has all these amazing matches for tag team. But the tag team division, to me, is better in TNA. Because it's more pure wrestling. You got, I would like to see more storylines with the tag teams in WWE, because in TNA they have actual tag team storylines. But the best tag team match that I've seen so far in WWE was in 2002. There were other great tag team matches, but when the first WWE tag team champions between Edge, Angle, Mysterio, and Benoit, that was the best tag team match I have seen in a long time. And then in TNA, it's Summerversary 2006 between America's Most Wanted AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. That was a perfect example of the best tag team match I've ever seen. Bar none, the best. Now, we'll get in the next video I make, we'll get into the X division, the cruiserweight division, and the heavyweight division of each company. But right now we're gonna focus on the tag team division. Now, I really believe that the WWE can take their tag team division, because they have 2 tag team divisions. Well, one tag team division with 2 championships, and push it to beyond. But they have, like, I'm telling you, the tag team division in WWE is the same old, you know, get beat up, tired, tagging the other opponent, crowd goes wild, and, you know, stuff happens. In TNA, it's a one-on-one match, and each team is good and each team is bad. It's just, I believe that TNA is starting to beat the WWE. Now, I grew up on WWE. Now, my WWE collection is way bigger than my TNA collection. I have about 6 TNA DVDs. I have over 50 WWE DVDs. But that's not the point. You know, some of the matches in my 6 TNA DVDs can outdo the matches in my WWE DVDs. But I really have to say that the WWE needs to work on their divisions. You know, especially the tag team division, because in the past, you know, WWE had a kick-ass tag team division in the past. But in the future, they need to work on the tag team divisions to make sure that they don't get beat by TNA. And they are getting beat by TNA. TNA is taking their competition and giving them better results. They took Kurt Angle and made him better and more aggressive in TNA than he was, and then his entire tenure in WWE. Kurt Angle's tenure in TNA is better than his tenure in WWE. He's more aggressive. He's better. He's faster. He's quicker. He was good in WWE, but I think he's better in TNA. And Booker T in WWE, you know, when he first got there, he was the WCW champion, but it took him. Oh man, he came in 2001. It took him 5 years to win the world title. 5 years. And Booker T is a world-class athlete. He should have been the world champion way before. You know, he shouldn't have been a one-time world heavyweight champion in WWE. Come on. You know? And I don't think that Booker T is a world-class athlete. And in TNA, he's doing way better. Now, he lost Sunday at Hard Justice to Samoa Joe. But we'll see how it goes from there. TNA may do the same thing that WWE did to Booker T. But Booker T so far has been doing better in TNA than he did in WWE. So I just totally went off the point with the tag team division, but that's okay. So until next time, I bid you adieu.